The so-called soulmate is a beautiful trap. Xiefeng, the sixth patriarch of Zen Buddhism, Huaining, said, "Who would have thought that our nature is intrinsically self-sufficient? The super-celestial beings of the celestial islands continent are self-consistent of yin and yang and are androgynous. Celestial beings and Buddhas have perfect self-nature, never seeking external validation. Many modern people are seeking soulmates, which shows that they are seeking externally, being led by their own desires, essentially being misled by outward forms. This is no different in essence from many people pursuing wealth, power, status, fame, luxury cars, and mansions. Once a companion, whether physical or spiritual, is found, the self-nature will be shattered. The purity, clarity, beauty, and innocence of the self-nature will be contaminated and lost. If a life does not possess independent consciousness and insists on finding another half to complete itself, then the soul of this life is a wandering soul, like a lost spirit in the wilderness, shouting aimlessly. When two such wandering souls intertwine, there may be calmness, but a greater danger is lurking, as it is difficult to form a complete and independent consciousness, and life must consist of individual, independent souls to ascend to the heavenly realm. Souls intertwined together will not be accepted by the heavenly program. In essence, those who are seeking soulmates are looking for spiritual and emotional relief due to feelings of loneliness and isolation. In marital relationships, the partner who is in discord, as well as those who are single after divorce, seek soulmates as they grapple with loneliness and a sense of spiritual emptiness. However, the concept of a soulmate is just a beguiling illusion, luring people into a ceaseless search. Ultimately, the quest for finding a soulmate is nothing more than self-intoxication, self-absorption, and indulgence in a form of spiritual escapism. Do Buddhas have soulmates? Certainly not. For those with companions are certainly not Buddhas. Do celestial beings have soulmates? Even less so. For how can one who has a companion follow what is predestined, be open, leave everything to fate, and be free and unfettered? How could one roam freely and at ease, be unrestrained and elegant? How could one achieve mind manifesting as events occur, mind empty when events are gone? Companions are actually obstacles on the journey of life's elevation, entangling the footsteps of individuals. The higher the level of the soul, the greater the freedom of life, the less the need for companionship. Only children who have not yet grown up need companionship, and lives with incomplete and unfulfilled souls need companionship. Soulmates come from platonic spiritual love, belonging to divine intercourse, rejecting physical intercourse, and pursuing spiritual communication and harmony. This concept was created by the Italian Renaissance theologian Marsilio Ficino. However, whether it is Plato or Marsilio Ficino, their understanding of sexuality is superficial. Seeking soulmates may seem lofty in literal terms, but in reality, it is just a false and impractical spiritual and emotional anesthetic. In my viewpoint, on the journey of life's elevation, independence and freedom are paramount. Any consciousness seeking companionship will hinder the ascent of one's life. The desire for a life partner or soulmate will only make the soul lonelier and more helpless. The follow-up comment from Tongshin Celestial. I agree with the guide's statement that there are no soulmates in this world. Where can one find another soul that perfectly matches theirs? From a scientific perspective, it's impossible for a snowflake to split perfectly in half, matching one half to another living being. The evolution and growth of individual organisms are not like playing a jigsaw puzzle. There may be phenomena of attraction between individuals with similar structures and frequencies, but they still remain independent. There's no way for them to perfectly merge into one soul, especially when each soul has its own imperfections and incompleteness. The idea of a soulmate, with its connotations of completeness, is nothing more than self-indulgence, anesthesia, and imagination. Moreover, from the perspective of the evolutionary laws of life structure, structural changes cannot occur fundamentally due to external influences at the same level of consciousness. Guidance and teachings from divine figures like gods, Buddhas, and celestial beings may have an impact, but it's a gradual process. Trying to achieve structural completeness through a so-called soulmate lacks scientific basis and feasibility. At best, What one can gain from the concept of a soulmate is energy, solving some issues of spiritual loneliness and companionship. However, one still needs to address their own shortcomings and deficiencies on their own. Even if one finds such a so-called soulmate, conflicts and problems may arise due to the imperfections of both parties, as the structures of two lives are not naturally harmonious. Therefore, for lives dedicated to spiritual improvement and refinement, appropriate space and distance are needed. One must grow independently, breaking through the hard shell of their own thoughts and consciousness from within, rather than relying on an external soulmate for breakthroughs and rebirth. Loneliness may prompt one to seek companionship, but a long-term, fixed companion is nothing more than two people hobbling along together. Thus, compared to seeking a soulmate, finding a group of like-minded fellow practitioners resonating on the same frequency, living and practicing together in a simulated heavenly lifestyle, is the best path. It not only replenishes the energy needed, but also provides the space necessary for individual ascension. What needs to be overcome must be overcome by oneself. Soulmates cannot provide the growth and ascension of life. Instead, they temporarily provide dependence and long-term hindrances and constraints, leading both parties to linger longer in the human world.